As 2025 comes to a close and 2026 is already approaching in less than a month, right now is the perfect time for dividend and income investors to ensure we're going to be set up for success, both when it comes to preparing yourself for the upcoming tax season, as well as making sure that you make a lot of progress toward living off dividends in 2026 if you aren't there already. In this video, I put together a list of some things that are specific to dividend and income investing that I would strongly encourage everyone to take action on now before the end of the year. These things are going to ensure that you'll save money on taxes, be ready to file your taxes, and get off on the right foot for next year. So with that being said, let's get started. The first thing you'll want to do if you haven't already is take advantage of tax loss harvesting. It's a strategy where you sell investments that have gone down in value this year to lock in your losses, and you can then use that to offset any capital gains that you made in the calendar year and reduce your income tax. It's a really important tax-saving strategy to use if you're holding a position that you no longer believe in and you've taken some losses on it. To give an example, let's say you came across a mortgage REIT that looked really appealing. It came with a high yield and you thought it'd be a great income-producing investment. And so you bought some shares of it a few months ago, or maybe even a couple of years ago. And as time has gone on, the stock has suffered multiple dividend cuts and is cratered in share price. But fortunately for you, you came across my YouTube channel and you learned that most mortgage REITs are terrible investments. No longer believing in the company, you decide to sell your position and you lose $1,000 on your investment. But earlier this year, you also sold shares of a different investment that did really well. You made $1,500 profit after selling some shares of a business development company that did really well. Because of tax loss harvesting, the amounts will offset and you'll only have to pay tax on $500 worth of capital gains and not the full $1,500. So this is a really great opportunity to save money on taxes before the year comes to an end. The only downside is that if you want to deduct losses against your income, there's a $3,000 maximum per year. So if you have $10,000 in losses and only $2,000 in capital gains, you don't get to save $8,000 from your income tax, only the maximum $3,000 per year. But the good news is you can actually carry that remaining $8,000 forward until it's completely used up. Assuming you have no other capital losses, you can deduct $3,000 this year, $3,000 in 2026, and then the remaining $2,000 in 2027. And if you were curious, you can't sell out of a losing position and then quickly buy back into it to save on taxes. This triggers something called a wash sale. If you sell a position, you can't re-enter it for 30 days just to get the tax benefits. So go ahead and check your brokerage account and take inventory of your unrealized gains and losses. If you have poor performing investments that you no longer believe in and you want to sell them, you should do that before the end of the year to save on your income taxes. Or if you have more than $3,000 in capital losses this year, you might want to sell shares of your better performing investments so that you stay under that $3,000 or just carry them over into the next year. I would also say that now is a good time to take inventory of your IRA contributions if you're dividend investing inside of a retirement account. The deadline for 2025 contributions is not the end of the year, it's April 15th. But hopefully this serves as a good reminder, since you're going to be busy with the holiday season, tax season right after the new year, and other new things getting started in 2026. If it's your goal to contribute the full $7,000 per year into a Roth IRA, but as of right now, you've only put in $2,000, then you only have between now and April 15th to deposit that last $5,000. So just keep that deadline in mind because it's going to be here before you know it. Make a plan to contribute the full amount, again, if you're investing in a trad or a Roth IRA. If you hold any master limited partnerships, make sure you have a plan in mind for dealing with K1s. Some people I've talked to have told me they bought in MLP for the first time this year, so you'll need to know how to deal with these statements. You will receive a physical K1 in the mail next year, but most of these investments allow you to view your K1 directly on their website. You have to make an account in their portal, verify your ID, and usually wait a couple of days. This is the best way of accessing your K1, and getting your account set up in their portal is something that I would not put off doing. It's very common for K1s to come late, usually around mid-April. Getting online access to it is going to be much better, and you'll usually have access to it by early to mid-March. Know who or what software is going to take care of your K1, and keep in mind that most tax preppers and most software will charge you more money for handling a K1. TurboTax, for example, will force you to buy a higher tier of their software for having one of these statements. If you go to a tax filer like H&R Block or Liberty Tax, they'll also charge you more money. You can expect to pay at least $100 to $200 more for a tax prepper to deal with a K1. That's why when it comes to MLPs, if you do decide to invest in one, it usually only makes sense to make a larger investment. Also, you need to be careful if you hold an MLP in a retirement account. The distributions are tax-free, but up to only $1,000. This is why I typically don't recommend holding these investments inside of retirement accounts. I've known people who do it and they don't seem to have any issues, but it's just something you'll want to keep in mind. And finally, to start the new year off, make sure you have a plan when it comes to tracking your progress if you don't have one already. If you're just throwing money into dividend-paying investments with the goal of living off dividends, you're going to stay a lot more focused if you have a goal and if you track your progression toward it. Studies have shown that people who actually make a plan are much more likely to achieve success at what they're striving for. Start by thinking about how much you want to earn in dividends each year. It could be $40,000 a year or $60,000 a year, but just have a goal in mind. At the end of every month, go into your brokerage account and look at your transaction history. What some people like to do is add up all the dividends they earned in a given month and write that number down in a notebook or an Excel file. Do this at the end of every single month and track how many dividends you're earning as time goes on. After doing this for a couple of years, you'll see progress being made as you buy more shares, reinvest your dividends, and have your positions grow their distributions. This is a really important source of motivation when it comes to dividend and income investing. You're going to be motivated to invest more as you see progress being made. Don't just fly by the seat of your pants. Come up with a game plan. If you're the kind of person that says, I want $500 a month from QQQI or some other position, I don't recommend exclusively investing in just that position until you meet that kind of goal. But especially if that holding is trading near its all-time high, or if it's currently at a big premium, I wouldn't recommend dumping everything into a holding like that. Spreading out your investment dollars more is the better way to go. Another way of tracking your progress is by using a dividend tracking platform or software. There's a lot of good options that exist. Some are free, but some cost money. I use Track Your Dividends, which is free, but it's not a great platform. But whatever tracker you're using, go into your account and try writing down your estimated yearly dividend income on the first of each month, just like you do with your transaction history. This is another really great way of seeing your progress over time. It is really encouraging to see your estimated annual dividend income grow over the years. Most dividend investors I know are guilty of only looking at their account balance. But this only scratches the surface when it comes to showing you the progress that you're making. Look at your dividend payouts go up over time, and the longer you progress, the faster the dividend snowball is going to grow. So that's a look at the most crucial things that you need to look at before the end of this year. If you like this content, this whole channel revolves around high-yield dividend investing. If you want to learn how you can live off dividends faster, with less money, and also what to invest in, consider subscribing for more high-yield investing content. But with that being said, that's going to wrap up today's video. If you'd like to connect with me and see what's inside of my own high-yielding dividend portfolio, then feel free to check me out over on Patreon. You'll be notified when I make trades, and you'll get access to our Discord with other high-yielding investors. Thanks again for watching. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe if you want more high-yielding investment content. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.